Let me just say something that might shock you. A woman can love you and still take you for granted. It happens more than you imagine. And the weirdest part? They often don't even realize they are doing it, until you're gone, or until you eventually stop chasing them. That's when everything changes. That's when silence becomes loud. And that's the moment a woman begins to miss the man she swore she didn't need. Here's the reality, many women aren't wicked manipulators. They're emotional. They're impulsive. They chase connection. But they also test boundaries. Sometimes a woman takes your consistency for weakness. Sometimes a woman mistakes your patience for a lack of choices. And sometimes a woman just thinks you will always be there, until you're not. Understand that when a woman begins to feel like you've stopped circulating around her, when your energy pulls back, when your presence disappears, when you're unexpectedly no longer available the way you used to be, it triggers a switch inside her. And that's when the missing starts. But by then, it's not about what you're doing. It's about the way she feels in your absence. This video isn't about blaming women or criticizing them. It's about telling you the honest reality so you can stop wondering what went wrong and begin to understand how this dynamic truly plays out. Because definitely, there are signs. There are subtle psychological instances when a woman begins to miss the very man she ignored. And whether you're a man who's been taken for granted previously, or if you're pulling back now and trying to understand what she might feel in the silence, this video is for you. Number 1, they remember the things you did that they did not appreciate. You know what's wild? Women don't miss you for the huge gestures. They miss you for the simple stuff, the stuff they didn't even realize was important until you stopped doing it. It's not about the expensive dinners or the over-the-top surprises. It's about how you used to message them good morning without fail. How you noticed when they were exhausted, even when they pretended to be okay. How you would show up not with flowers, but with our favorite snack. You would remember something they said in passing that nobody else caught. They remember the way you made them feel, secure, understood, and appreciated. But here's the reality. At the moment, they didn't always appreciate it. They got used to it, comfortable, perhaps even a bit entitled. They thought it was just who you were, the kind person, the person who always cared, always provided, and always showed up. And when they got wrapped up in their own moods, disappointments, or selfish moments, they definitely made you feel like none of that was important, that your efforts were invisible. But once you're gone, the same things echo loudly. 2, she starts playing it cool, but inside, she is spiraling. When a woman realizes she has taken a gentleman for granted, she does not usually confess it right away. In fact, most of the time, she tries to play it cool. She will pretend like she is unbothered, post a few living her best life narratives, and perhaps even begin casually talking to someone else. Not because she is over you, but because she is trying to look like she is. It's a protective mechanism. A woman doesn't want you to know that she is thinking about you, that she is replaying conversations, wondering if she went too far, if she mistook your affection for imperfections, and worst of all, that perhaps she lost you for good. Inside, she is spiraling. Secretly, silently, but she will not show it. That's part of how women deal with regret. They compartmentalize. They try to hide it behind distractions, attention, and approval, but none of it truly works. Because the reality is, if a woman feels emotionally attached to a man and loses that, it doesn't just disappear. It lingers. It haunts. She'll see you moving on, shining, perhaps even doing the things she said she wanted, but now you're doing them without her. And it stings because now she sees it wasn't that you weren't enough. It was that she didn't appreciate your value in time. But even then, she will not rush back. Not straight away. She will wait. She will see if you reach out. She will hope you still care. And when you don't, the panic sets in. She starts asking herself things she never did before. 3. The ego battles the emotion, and emotion always wins finally. Let me be honest with you. When a woman starts missing a man she once took for granted, she does not just miss him silently. There's a full-on internal conflict going on inside her. One part of her is screaming, "You messed up. You pushed away a gentleman." And the other part is saying, "No, be strong. Do not show it. He should have struggled harder." That battle between ego and emotion. It's terrible. The ego strives to protect her. It tells her not to confess fault, not to say sorry, and not to make the first move because if she does, it seems like weakness, like she is losing control. And many women, particularly the ones used to being dominant or getting chased, will cling to that power even when it's costing them the relationship that they really desire. But emotion doesn't remain buried forever. The reality is, they feel it. Missing you hits her in waves, sometimes at night when everything is silent. For, when you remain silent, it causes a woman to feel everything. Let me say something you certainly don't hear from ladies frequently: silence from a guy who used to care. It's not just no communication. It's emotional warfare in the best way possible. Because here's what truly happens behind the curtain. If a woman takes a man for granted, it's usually because she assumes to always have him around. Whether you're kind-hearted, forgiving, or just emotionally open, many women translate it as safe, which ultimately might be misunderstood for expendable. But when that same man remains silent, when you stop checking in and stop trying, it doesn't just create absence, it causes tension. It makes an atmosphere for reflection, and that's dangerous for a woman because silence becomes a mirror. A mirror a woman can't look away from. 5. When they see you glow without them, it hits different. Do you want to know when a woman truly starts to miss you? It's not always right after the breakup. It's not even when silence creeps in. No, it's when a woman sees that you didn't stop living your life, the time when she realizes you're not just hanging around feeling sorry for yourself, patiently awaiting her to come back. That's when it hits. Here's the reality: when a man pulls away, a woman might roll her eyes, but when a man levels up, she notices. Women usually notice when a man stops pursuing and begins shining. It generates a psychological change in a woman that's difficult to ignore.